as the roar of the crowd died to a silence. Two voices emerged. SquareOne from the city of Wind.
Chicago.
And Odeisel from the city with 8 million stores.
From the York Street Talk, America's best. From the York Street Talk, America's best.
Join for the cause of presenting and discussing the world of hip-hop without any filter.
Let me talk, Carol.
Translate that for us.
Yeah, that's the answer. We go to Chicago. Tell them we're not for sale.
The creation of enormous magnitude was formed.
Hip-hop is writing and rhyming. To hold the mic in your hand and crush whoever's in front of you. That's hip-hop.
I am here to present
IllSide Radio.
Alright, welcome back to IllSide Radio. I'm your host, SquareOne, and my co-host is...
Ready to give you this work. Let's go. We're going to get this work.
A reference to The Wire, I suspect, or something else?
Nah, be Loaded Lux.
Loaded Lux. The man
Loaded
of...
Lux. Putting a hammer down on Calico.
The man of the hour, it appears. Hey, before we get started, let's remind our listeners that we are on YouTube, we're on iTunes, we're on WordPress, Mixcloud, PlanetIll.com, MyBSideBlog.com. I would welcome our listeners, if you are on iTunes or any of these formats, to leave a review. Positive, negative, doesn't matter. Question about the show, leave a question about the show, or a question for the show, doesn't matter.
If we shit on somebody you like, you can, holler back.
All your comments are welcome. We would appreciate it if you guys give us some heads up feedback, because we want to improve the show for you, not just us. Even though we're having a ball doing it. Episode 98, by the way, closing in on
2 more for the money.
Big 100. I almost feel like Derek Jeter chasing down Pete Rose. Almost there.
He got about 1,000 more hits to catch Pete Rose.
About 950. That was the topic of discussion.
He's gonna have to play 7 years at least to get. I mean, what do you have? 200 hits this year?
Tops in the AL though.
Yeah, but 5 more seasons like that, I'll get him to Pete Rose. So
Let me ask you about this, because we're talking about baseball a little bit. Have you actually watched any of the playoffs? I know you're a big Yankees fan.
At all.
Exactly. Thank you. And this was
it's 162 fucking games, man. It's like, holla at me in the championship series, and I might watch.
And the thing is that the whole wild card, 1 game playoff was supposed to add excitement. I mean, besides Atlanta got screwed, but other than that, I really wasn't into it, and I didn't care.
I think they made 3 errors that game, man. Yeah, I don't know if they got screwed.
They got screwed, man.
I mean, it was a dumbass call, but I don't know that they win because of that. I mean, they lose because of that.
Explain to me how the NFL replacement refs got into baseball's playoffs. I don't know how that happened.
Boom, 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 boom.
I try. But the baseball series is going on. Looks like the A's are hanging in there. Your Yankees are down, right? 2-1.
Oh, we tied up.
They tied 1 up. I think they got. They're playing today. This recording is on Wednesday. I think everybody's playing today, so there's gonna be a lot of people going on or moving, going home after tonight or this week. So, either way, it's not very exciting baseball. I'll see what happens in the World Series.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, all right. What is getting very exciting is 50 Cent's. How would you say? I wouldn't say off the field activities, but out of the booth activities are getting him a lot of play this week. First of all, going bowling with Gunplay's Maybach music chain on. That got a lot of run on these social websites. And then come around, French Montana, the bad boy artist, had some nice tweets to say about, or I guess in the interview he said that 50 Cent's career has pretty much gone into a spiral since he started beefing after Get Rich or Die Trying. Then that poses the question, is French Montana correct? And it appears that, yes, 50 Cent's career, or not even so much his career, but his record sales have declined after his first album. But I mean, who really can repeat the Diamond? That's like an impossible feat to repeat Diamond.
Yeah.
So, but
go
ahead.
It's played out, man. You're too old for this shit. You got money. Stop it. You would think he was Orlando Anderson or some shit running around with somebody else's chain on, and then You know, just like that, when he's talking about that line, your man got murked, but you squashed that.
Right.
Just like that line is something you can't walk away from. Well, you know, you keep this up. That ain't Young Berg, man. Those are people who, if they ain't, you know, if they ain't who they say they are, they know people who are who they say they are. And it's only a matter of time before those kind of elements get together and somebody tries to be a hero and get Gunplay, you know, his chain back, or, you know, so he could be the weed carrier or the crew or some shit like that. This shit, man, they just need to knock it off with that shit, man.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, this because of the beef, you know, we both agree that this is sort of taken away from 50 Cent's music, and that he's more focused on the stuff that's not really important, and you know, and trading it off for these silly antics to get stir up publicity for either his Street King or his now. I think he had the Beats by 50 Cent, whatever it's called, Slim, or I don't know. He had some headphone deal,
some shit.
but he's not even part of that anymore. You know, he already deaded that deal, or they deaded the deal with him. And I just think that 50 Cent, you know, he had the skirmish at the BET Awards. Now this, it's like, you're right. It's gonna feel something to the effect of an Orlando Anderson, who was, you know what, he was dead a day or two after the incident with Suge Knight and Tupac.
Nah, weeks.
Okay.
But it's gonna be very interesting to see how this thing pans out. I just don't want it to get something that contaminates, you know, rap. I think it's time for us to grow up. So all that beefing over shit, you know, it's just cool. Okay, Gunplay likes to mouth off. He got his ass whooped. Okay, all right. But you know, you going bowling with his chain, like, ooh, that shit don't work. Look, everybody, and it's true. Part of the reason that people took to him, because not only was he hardcore, but he had a sense of humor. Now he's just being a bully. And you're not even an effective bully. Like, look at everybody he beefed with. Shit didn't hurt Fat Joe. Didn't hurt Jay-Z. Didn't hurt Nas. Definitely didn't hurt Rick Ross, who got bigger after the shit. Didn't hurt Game. So really, you haven't hurt anybody but yourself. You really didn't hurt Ja Rule. He was just oversaturated. He took himself out. Beef has never sold records. And it's never, you know, except for Jay-Z and that kid Mino from Harlem World, I don't remember anybody who ever actually got shut down by a beef. Okay, maybe Antoinette, you know, got shut down by MC Lyte, but whoever got really shut down by a beef?
Yeah.
You know? MC Shannon Marley Marl was really only bluffing, you know, but that shit is not a regular occurrence, man. He should give it up. Stop that shit and go back to focusing on your records.
Yeah. And
he knows better. That's the sad part. He should know better, you know?
Yeah. I think this is the equivalent of when, you know, Mike Tyson, he was like this feared guy for so long, goes to jail, comes out, Evander Holyfield, you know, serves him up, and then after that, people are just like, oh, wait, he's not that tough. And I think that was the same thing with Ross. He didn't bow down to 50 when 50 was out there taking his baby mom shopping. And
yeah, but look at that corny shit.
Yeah.
Like, all right, whatever, B. Rick Ross didn't do shit but go make music.
Yeah.
And he won.
And
nobody really want to hear that shit, man. I'm taking your baby mother shopping. So what? Good. Less fucking Pampers I gotta buy. You go right ahead and take that bitch shopping.
And I would even say it's the people weren't even really fearing him because Game stood up to him as well. And you know, I think Game softened 50 up, and then Ross just sort of knocked him over. And then now, you know, when he starts squabbling with people are just like, you're just a reflection of your old self. You're not really that guy anymore. You don't
even got muscles no more. Fucking skinny ass 50 Cent. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm a fan of his. I thought, you know, he's kind of the last action hero and all that shit. But once you start going back to that same tired ass shit, no stripes for that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Gunplay. I mean, that's like, he's a nobody. I mean, he's like Rick Ross's little man.
Yeah.
That's like sending somebody after Lil C's chain.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you didn't take Diddy chain. You didn't take. I mean, it's not even somebody on your level. So why even go through it? First of all, y'all jumped him. It's not like, one of y'all knocked him out, you jumped him, and he's a skinny drug addict. So it's not like you could get points off it. So what do you get?
Yeah.
Seriously, what do you get from that?
Yeah.
It's just a crab ass move, B.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weak as fuck.
Speaking of Gunplay, today he turned himself in on a armed robbery warrant that he had going on in Florida. Is Gunplay? He's signed to Maybach Music, right? So he's.
I don't know who he's probably signed to Def Jam. I think I'm not sure because I know when I interviewed them a couple years ago, when that Triple C's album was coming out, that came out on Def Jam. So I don't know what his situation is now.
Yeah.
But I know he's still down with Rick Raw.
All right, so he's just more like an associate, part of the team, but not really there. Either way.
Well, I mean, he just may not be signed under Maybach Music, or he might be signed to Def Jam via Maybach Music.
Yeah. Well, he turned himself in today. That's looks like he's probably going to end up having to do some time for that. So.
Good for him. Maybe his fans will fucking think that shit's cool and buy some records.
Well, I mean, yeah, the jail does help your street cred a little bit.
Jail's dumb.
It is. Let's talk a little bit about football this week. I thought since we're on the topic of violence a little bit, Matt Castle, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, who was knocked out this past weekend, got an applause or a roaring support for his injury when he was laying in his concussion state. As fans, I mean, I think we talked a little bit about this last week or a couple weeks back. That as fans, when we were talking about the players getting injured, we really don't have any feeling for them. But this is just damn. It's like we have to really. I mean, what do you say about that, really?
I watched the game. They didn't cheer when he got hurt. There were very few of them that cheered when he got hurt. They cheered when he got up, which is what you're supposed to do. And they cheered when the backup quarterback came on because that's the guy they really pushing for. They didn't cheer when he got hurt. I think that's you know what? Sometimes the media looks for a reason to carve out a story, and I think this is just one of those things, man. Because I didn't really see the crowd booing for that nigga like that.
Yeah. The Chiefs, Eric Winston, I think he's an offensive guard or offensive lineman. He was out there who said that it's sickening that fans would boo or cheer that he was out there. So he was very vocal against the fans. It's interesting, but this is the 13th anniversary of Michael Irvin getting booed in Philadelphia's old Veterans Stadium.
That was some savage shit.
Damn. Yeah.
That was some savage shit.
I mean, the Eagles fans have a crazy history of doing wild stuff, though. Throwing snowballs at Santa Claus and
booed Santa.
They do. How you boo Santa? That's wild. And the
Easter Bunny.
Anything else?
They used to have jail in the stadium.
I do remember that. I mean, I wasn't there in the jail, but yeah, I do remember them having that. That's stadium jail. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, this is so it looks like Brady Quinn's going to take over for the Kansas City Chiefs this next coming weekend. Who's had a very goofy career since he left Notre Dame. Shout out to Notre Dame, by the way, beat up Miami and Chicago last weekend. But yeah, Matt Castle's just cheering, even if anybody was cheering for that. Damn, like man, where's your heart at? Yeah,
that's disgusting. Like for those who actually were, I mean, I don't like how people tried to make it seem like the whole arena was cheering for him getting hurt because that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But for those that were, that's some savage shit, man. You are an animal.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the new Die Hard 5 film that's going to be coming out either sometime later than next year, I suppose. There's a trailer floating around the internet. I haven't had a chance to see it, but you did. I was watching 3 Die Hard with a Vengeance, which is
my diamond.
which besides the first one is my favorite Die Hard film. I didn't like part 2.
Motherfucker.
And I just these old action stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's making his rounds and he's talking about his new movie that's coming out that looks a little bit iffy as well. I just don't know about these old action stars from the 80s still out there ducking and dodging bullets. I mean, we had the Expendables.
I love it.
I still haven't seen part 2 yet. I'm waiting for it to go into the $1.50 show down the street for me. Do we care? Or is there a new?
Bet your ass we care. I'm from the fucking 80s. I don't want to see no damn. I don't want to see no damn emotional fucking Conan movie. I want to see some heads roll.
It's like, you know,
the guns go blam, the cars go boom. That's what I want to see. I don't give a shit about these young hippies.
You know what? It's like there's that 80s version of the action movie where everything's just like very, just guerrilla style, just everything blows up. But then you have like, since when the Bourne movies came out, there's like more of a slick way to the action film.
Yeah, but see, Jason Bourne, he's whooping ass too. As long as you can whoop some ass, that is what it is. I go to the movies to see. I don't want to cry. I don't want to fucking see no emotional tumult. I want to see shit get blown up. Period.
All right, so but in this new Die Hard movie, it seems kind of goofy because it's him.
I don't know
and
what
his
the fuck they're doing in Russia.
Was it was even the last Die Hard, was he even in New York? Because he's a New York cop, but for some reason he's always anywhere but in New York, except in 3. I don't know if he's in New York in 4. But it's like, how do you wind up in all these weird circumstances? But I guess that's the whole theme of the series. New, younger action guys coming in the game. Yeah, you have Jason Statham coming in. He does some really good stuff, but he's not as strong on the screen as as those bigger names like Stallone and Schwarzenegger were during the 80s or even during the mid 90s. I just want like a really new guy to just come in and just knock shit out.
The problem is that new people aren't brought up under the same auspices. There are things that you could get away with in the 80s in terms of sentiment that you can't get away with now if you come up, under these circumstances. You can't be calling people wusses and sissies and stuff like that. Yeah. They got that anti-bullying shit out now. I mean, it's a whole bunch of macho shit that don't count for much anymore.
Yeah. And like, when did Liam Neeson become like the go-to guy for action movies? This is the guy who was
there. Hey, listen, he was Zeus. He trained Batman, and he fucking trained. All right. So it's not a good idea. He was Hannibal Smith. It's not a good idea to take his family. Right? That's not the right thing to do.
That's another movie I wanted to see Taken 2, even though people say it's just a repeat of the first one. But either way.
And
you don't see it.
The first one not great?
Oh, the first one was fantastic.
Exactly. So what is wrong with more of the same shit? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're a guy. What the hell? What are these people looking for from movies? A plot? It's fucking bombs and bullets.
People forget that Liam Neeson was Darkman. That's one of the best.
Trained Darth Vader. Don't steal his family.
Oh, that is true. Jung Gong or something, I forgot his name. His name in Star Wars. Yeah, you're right. That guy's had a hell of a career.
He trained Darth Vader and Batman. What the fuck? Alone.
And he saved Jews in Schindler's List. I mean, what can't
That's right. And the Jews. He saved the Jews. That alone is going to get you brownie points with the man upstairs, all right?
The guy has done...
Save the chosen ones.
The guy has done every and anything on screen. I don't think besides Morgan Freeman, no one has done more on screen.
Pretty soon we're going to have to do those Chuck Norris things for Liam Neeson.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's like the most interesting man in the movies.
No, you're right.
Trained Jedis. He trained Batman. He saved the Jews. Don't steal his family.
That guy has had a resurgence like no other these last few years.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good. Speaking of a resurgence, Exhibit is back at it with his new album Napalm that dropped this week. I got a chance to check it out. It's, Exhibit has never disappointed as far as being a lyricist. I think that his problem was that he always tried to be commercial when there wasn't.
Yeah, I think that was his downfall, man.
I think because he had that success with the Restless LP and with Dre supporting him, and it sort of seemed like all the stars aligned for him for that album. He had great commercial songs for it, but he also had a great album itself. But then he's never been able to replicate that success, and he's still chasing it and still trying to be on radio, still trying to do the movies and the TV, and be the guy that everybody likes. But Still Fears. But with this new album, Napalm, what I appreciate about aging artists, either they decide to be reflective of the dirt they did, or they still portray that they're still in the life when you know they're not. Yeah. And Exhibit on the first half of Napalm does a really great job of reflecting on the dirt he did and how that affected his past and his present, as well as some of the woes that he's had the last few years. His financial issues, getting canceled on TV from MTV, and some other family issues. I think he lost a son a couple years ago. He's had a lot. Yeah, he's had a lot of heartache last few years, so things haven't been kind for him. But then the bottom part of it is where shit just goes mayhem. It's like you have pretty much the whole West Coast on the second, on the deep collaborations, and the production is really whack. He has a song on there, Louis the 13th, with the Return of the Alcoholics and King T, which I think, which is really dope. Dr. Dre beat. It's what you expect.
Is it a real Dr. Dre beat, or is this one of these lazy ass beats?
It sounds like it. You have the keys, the which you almost hear a lot. But
Mike Sando, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. But it's pretty dope. And I think that Dre didn't sell him a whack beat, but it's not the premier or greatest Dre beat you would hear. But I think for what they're doing is pretty cool. Speaking
of old dudes that came back with a vengeance, DJ Premier produced this joint for Physiology. Fizzy Womack.
Yeah.
And Terminology. That shit is smoking hot, man. I can't lie, because DJ Premier's kind of been dropping the same kind of shit for the past few years.
Right.
I haven't been impressed with anything he's done recently, but this shit bangs, man. I can't lie to you.
I gotta check it out. I haven't heard it. I maybe got it, but I just didn't get a chance to check it out.
It's up on the side.
All right, I have to do that. So I'm glad that, but I'm glad that Exhibit is back though. It's 6 years since his last album, and his last album wasn't that bad either.
Yeah, I didn't really miss him though. But I will say that 40 Days and 40 Nights was one of my shits, man. I really appreciated that album. And that was kind of before he blew up, but he wasn't like a nobody. I thought it was real cool.
Recycled Assassins. That song on there is...
Yeah.
Forget about it. Even What You See Is What You Get. There's a lot of great music.
That was a dope video.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was one of the first of its kind.
Yep.
Very, very, very innovative. Loud music was very ahead of its time with a lot of
the artists. Right?
Damn, that sucks.
And they fucked that up.
Yep. Exactly.
Loud had Wu-Tang. They had a lot of shit on Loud, man.
Yep. Why aren't they still? I think no, they're not around. They're that SRC Steve.
Steve Rifkin.
Something. Yeah. Give a shout out to Alex Karros. He passed away today at the age of 77 from
George Papadopoulos. For y'all that don't know.
For Webster. Age 77. He also played football.
Played football, too.
He's a Hall of Famer, I think he was. I have to look that up.
I'm not sure. But, a lot of those Monster the Midway guys made it, so I don't know if that's before my time.
I got to check that out. And he was a professional wrestler. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That dude did a lot. But yeah, he had... but he was also one of the first to get suspended for a year because he was gambling with Paul Horning from the Packers, gambling on NFL games.
Damn.
Yeah. So, he actually, he was in George Plimpton's Paper Line book. I got to read that. I have that book and I still haven't read it. I don't know if you, George Plimpton, he's a writer.
He died a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, he was a writer, and he played. I think he was like a backup to the backup quarterback for the Lions, and he wrote a book about his experience.
Really, George Plimpton play? I didn't know that.
I think he played. I think he.
I mean, to me, if you made the league, you played. I'm just saying. I didn't know he was an athlete.
No, he was the author, but they let him be a backup. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's one of those deals. So I have the book. I just haven't read it.
It'd be real funny if they put a bounty and fucked up like two quarterbacks and he had to play. That'd be real funny. Hey, Plimpton, you're in.
Yeah.
What the devil?
What does that happen? I think it was at. Did you ever see Unnecessary Roughness? The movie with Sinbad and the guy from Quantum Leap.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
That movie's hilarious. I still love that movie.
Shit was written in crayon, though.
But George Axe Karras died today at age 77. Stacey Dash, the cousin of Dame Dash, has been making a lot of waves this past week when she posted a tweet supporting Mitt Romney and saying that if you have a choice, or there's no better choice than Mitt Romney or something to that effect, and everybody just blew up on her. It seems like you just can't be Hispanic or black and support a Republican without catching some fire.
I mean, I'll put it to you like this, man. There's a few things that go involved with this, right? First of all, the heifer got a song coming out, so it's probably a publicity stunt, right? Because who would give a cowboy shit about her on any level except, oh, she's a MILF without kids. She's old but hot, right?
She's hot.
So there's one level. Two, yeah, you really should, for the people that are shitting on her, she's entitled to her opinion if it was genuine, excuse me. But
yeah.
I don't know if it's informed or not. See, if you want to vote for Obama, that's cool, and I dig it, but know why you voting for him. Not just because he's the black guy, because you got kids that need to survive off the choices the president makes. So you just vote for him because he's black. That was the first round, all right? Okay, we got one. Now you got to really look at, who is the best guy for the future. Personally, Mitt Romney's a fucking liar, and there's no truth in him, and poor people will be fucked, and middle-class people will be fucked if he becomes president. But that being said, people are left to their own devices, man. They should vote for whoever protects their interests. If you rich, you should vote for him. I don't think she's rich, so I don't know why she's voting for him. But that's why celebrities should shut the fuck up unless they really prepare to explain some of the things they say. Because what if she had a perfectly good reason for saying that? Like, what if she looked at their budget plans and looked at this and said, you know what, for my situation, as somebody that's getting money, maybe it's better to vote for Mitt Romney. She could. I doubt that she thought that out. Because all her own responses were, I'm entitled to my humble opinion. So obviously she didn't fucking have one, or else she would have defended it. Because if you're going to keep responding and not defending, then maybe you should like Mitt Romney because that's what he do. But
yeah,
that shit is crass because she don't have no opinion. You can tell by her responses that she don't really have an opinion. She's just looking for attention.
Yeah.
So she got it. So she won.
But the thing is that I don't understand why it's such a media or a thing that needs to be publicized. It's like, so what? She made a statement. Why does it need to be her doing these big interviews on news stations and people publicizing it?
Because they don't think that a black person could vote for Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
So when Nicki Minaj had that Romney line in her rhyme, they went ape shit over it because they think that all the cool people, all the black people voting for Obama just because. So they trying to make it look like, oh, well, shit, they gonna vote for Romney. But, that shit is bogus, man, and the media just fell for it. Look, we covering the shit. And for what? She's worthless.
Yeah, exactly.
And not because she voting for Romney, because she's an attention whore who's looking for somebody to fucking give a shit about her funky-ass, garbage-ass song.
Yeah. I think Romney is polling like at 0% with black people. It's like very low.
So, man, the guy's a fucking liar, man. And I'm sure the president's a liar too, but this guy's he doesn't even stand on anything. You couldn't vote for him. If you hated everything Obama did, right? Unless you're big, how could you even vote for Mitt Romney? He doesn't stand on anything. So really, your whole stance is, I hate what the president did. I gotta vote for somebody else. Yeah. You're not even looking at what the future is. He got a budget he can't even explain. He got a budget that his own vice president, who's a budget guy, doesn't want to explain. Yeah. He flip-flops on everything. How can you vote for somebody like that? He doesn't take a stand on anything. So, again, if you get money, you may want to vote for Mitt Romney, and that's cool, man. I support your rights. Yeah. But I don't think that she wanted anything more but attention for her new song.
All right, well, we'll see how that goes. I don't have any intention of listening to Stacey Dash sing, but...
No, I don't either. I'd rather hear I'd rather hear a cat scratch somebody's balls than fucking listen to a Stacey Dash song.
Speaking of talented people, the A3C is going on this coming weekend. You're going to be down in Atlanta to cover it.
We're in full effect, man.
What are some of the things that you're looking forward to when you get down
Well, the panel, I rap, but I don't. I rock a mic, but I don't rap. Plano Illo is the official sponsor of that. It's going to be tomorrow from 6 to 7:30 at October 11th, 6 to 7:30 at the Highline Ballroom. It's going to be shows upon shows upon shows, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing some real hip hop, getting some video, getting some interviews.
So what's on this panel? Like, would you say I rap, but I don't?
It's kind of about people trying to find their way to media outlets. You know, you got music, you're doing this, you're doing that, but how do you get your shit in the hands of people who can play it or who can give it some love? And that's, kind of what it's about.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Well, hopefully you guys can record that and check that out, and so we can all get a piece of it for those of us that can't make it down. But it should be fun nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, very cool. All right, so that's gonna be our show this week. What do you got else going on over at the Ill that we should be looking for? I know Malice and Tender just put up a great article on sort of the history of gangster rap. That's pretty cool. I got a chance to check it out today.
You stay coming with it, man. We're gonna give you that work.
Yeah. very, very good. All right, so that's gonna be our time this week.
Shout out to my wife, man, the greatest person alive. And that's about it, man. I'm out.
You had to sneak that in, I see. All right.
No, I ain't no sneak. We in.
All right, that's what's up. All right, so that's gonna be our time this week. I'm your host, SquareOne, and my co-host is
Odeisel.
All right,
ready and willing to rock.
All right, once again, check us out on YouTube, WordPress, Mixcloud, iTunes. Leave your comments, questions, and concerns, and we'll get back to you. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Later.
All right, peace.